Top of the morning to ya. I've been starting my classes with some accents, so today it's, well, I just lost it. It was Irish, but good morning, friends. Good morning, yogis. I'm so excited for some yoga as healing. Don't we all need a little healing? Just when I get that, no, wrong song. Um, if you remember that show, Name That Tune? That was good. How many of you were stellar at Name That Tune? I needed usually like a little more. They were good. I was never as good as usually the people on the show, but if you just got that, good for you. We're going to need some things today. We're going to need a strap. We will need a blanket, and a block would be helpful as well. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Maybe a heart or a yeah. Yeah, I am. It's Wednesday. Hi, Cindy. And it's maybe going to rain today if you're in the Lincoln, Nebraska. I was going to say in the Bay Area. Doesn't that sound better? If you're in the Bay Area, we're not in the Bay Area. We are in the plains. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Blanket, block, strap. 3 things. Now, if you don't have, hi Jan, thanks for the thumbs. If you don't have a strap, you could grab a tie. You could grab a scarf. Even a kitchen towel will probably work, okay? All right, let's get started. Here we go. I love this class. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I do. It's truly one of my favorites when I got to teach, when I was in a studio space and also just being at home. It's so easy to go and work, and it's so therapeutic to slow down and to have a time where you're literally, it's just like you're devoting the practice, and it's just such a different way. In fact, I often say to people that I think the healing classes for me can be more intense than like a vinyasa or a power even flow, because there's such a different kind of practice. So what I want to work on today as we step on the mat is supporting ourselves, because as you think about yoga as healing, like what the name of that class, and sometimes people say, well, isn't all yoga healing? Absolutely, it can be, but it very much depends on how we practice, the state of our mind in the practice. And so one of the habits, because I truly believe that it is a habit, is creating a habit where we start supporting ourselves more. And we can get off track from this in so many different ways. I'm sure you could think of some, right? It could be the way that we talk to ourselves. It's not supportive. It could be decisions we make where we're always trying to please other people and we've stopped listening to what it is we need. It can be the way that the food that we eat. It's not supporting ourselves. The friendships, the people we're surrounding ourselves with. Even the job and the work that we do. Any job can be a marvelous job. It's just, what's our mindset around the work that we're doing? Do we feel like we're contributing? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Everybody wants to feel acknowledged. We want to feel noticed. And so if we don't feel like our work is meaningful and often noticed, that's where we can really start to feel discouraged. And so we constantly have to keep creating this internal habit of, how do I support myself, and do I listen to myself? And so when you're thinking about choices sometimes it's as simple as not seeing it as depriving ourselves of things, but just, does this choice support me or does it not? Right? You could do that with food. You could do it again with whether or not you should say yes or no to something. Does it support me? Does it not? So that's where we're going to begin today. So sit up nice and tall. We're going to do a little bit of quiet meditation for a couple minutes, a little pranayama. Then we'll get into the practice, okay? So we're really trying to bring many elements into our healing practice. So sit up nice and tall. to draw your awareness to your spine, to the central channel. We call that the Sushumna Nadi. It actually has many, many names. But the spine very much often articulates the health of our body. So I want you to notice as you're breathing right now how the breath is undulating and moving along your spine. And you may not notice it. It might feel like it's in the center of the chest, or maybe it's low in the belly, or up higher in around the collarbones. But see if you can start to circulate the breath, that as you inhale, you feel the breath moving from the base of the spine up. And as you exhale, the apana, the breath is moving from the chest back down. So prana is the inhale. Apana is the exhale. Simply by beginning to deepen the breath, we begin to remove some toxins out of the body. Yay. We begin to move things that have gotten stuck or stagnant. So we'll start with Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. Now, if you have allergies or a cold, you can do the positioning with the fingers on the nostrils, but don't close the nostrils, okay? So you're going to take your index and your middle finger, you're going to fold it in, or some days I like to put those two fingers around my third eye space. Your right thumb will touch your right nostril, your ring finger will touch your left nostril, okay? So take a breath through both your nostrils. Take a breath out through both your nostrils. Close your right nostril and inhale your left. Close your left, exhale your right. Now you're going to do same side now. Inhale right. Close your right, you'll exhale left. Same side again. Inhale left. Close your left, exhale your right. Now some of you may put pauses at the bottom of the breath. Just pause a little and then inhale same side. And again, you may pause a bit at the top of the inhale and then you'll close the right, exhale the left. Same side. Closing left, exhaling right. One more full round, inhaling right. Closing, exhaling left. Inhaling left. This is the final breath. It's going out the right side. Good. Now bring that right hand and I want you to place it over the center of your heart. Take your left hand over the top of that. Moment and ask your heart if there is an intention that you would like to set for your practice that would support you today. Good, and then let your chin release down towards your chest. Let your hands come down onto your legs. Inhale, lift your chin. Open your eyes. Good. Switch the cross of your legs so your other shin gets a little chance to balance out here. We're going to reach the arms up towards the sky. And we're going to turn and twist to the right. Exhale, right hand behind you. Left hand comes across to the right knee. Spine is nice and tall. Breathe in. Exhale, turn the low belly to the right. Inhale, spine is tall. Broaden across your collarbones. Exhale, twist, soften the gaze. Good, one more breath. Try not to overwork through your neck. Good, and now take your back arm, cross it over, right arm over left arm, and bring it up into Garudasana arms. Spine is nice and tall. Lift up through the elbows so they're shoulder height. Push your palms forward. And if you want just a little bit more, remember your right arm is on top. Push with your left hand against your right palm. And if they don't go all the way together, that's okay. Just back of the hands together. Just tip your forearms a little bit to the right. Kind of gets into the underside of the scapula on that right shoulder blade. Whew. And bring it back up. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, sweep them up. Twist to the left. Exhale, left hand behind you. Right arm stretches across. Spine tall, breathe in. Exhale, turn and twist. 2 breaths. Inhale. Little bend in those elbows. Pull the elbows apart. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Turn and twist. Exhale. Now back arm's going to cross over. Left arm on top of right. Again, back of the hands together, or if the hands will wrap around, palms together. Lift the elbows up. Try to pull your elbows actually apart a little bit and push your forearms slightly forward. Feel the breath still moving up that central channel through the spine. Now tip, if you like, your forearms a little to the left. Yeah. Little movements with big effects. I love those. Those are my favorite. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Breathe in. Exhale. Release. Arms down. Now you're going to stretch your legs out into the danda, into the staff pose. So I'm going to lower my blanket because I had mine kind of high. All right. So I'm going to sit up on the blanket, and then I want you to take your block if you have one. Okay, remember here you could use a bigger towel, like a bath towel if you have one. I want you to take the block behind you. And so there's a little bit of a distance so that your arms can be straight and you can really feel that central channel moving through the spine. So flex your feet. Pull back through your toes, push through your big toe mound and your inner heel. Take the head of the shoulders back, okay? See that? So rounding, take the head of the shoulders back, draw your front ribs in a little bit, and allow the crown of the head to be directly on top of the base of the spine. Now push into the arms so your arms are more straight, or they are straight. Good. And this is actually some work here. Even though your hands are holding you up, you might start to feel your back get a little bit tired. Keep your legs strong. Roll your inner thighs towards the floor. Good. Nice, deep, steady breath. Inhale. Draw the front ribs in a little bit again. Lengthen through the back of the skull. Exhale. Good. Now I want you to lean back. So bend the elbows out to the sides a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten the arms. Good. It's like a little cat-cow, but we're keeping the spine straight. Inhale. Lean back. Exhale. Straighten through the arms. Let's do it 2 more times. Now, if you tend to hyperextend in your arms, you need a little micro bend to stay in there. So inhale, bend, and straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Let's do one more, keeping that spine nice and tall. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Good. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Inhale. Now stay upright. Cactus your arms. Exhale. Draw your elbows down. Shoulder blades hug toward each other and down your back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend. And if this feels challenging, you're doing everything right. I am here with you. Inhale. Exhale. You're not alone. Inhale. Exhale. We are here together. 2 more times. Really feel the shoulder blades on the back. Inhale. So even just coming to the mat and practicing and doing these, I know you could have chosen a lot of other things to do last time, but it is a choice that supports you. So, oh man, you guys, bravo. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, release your arms down. Oh, all right. I got a little spider friend. You just need to move, little fella. Okay, we can't take him outside because we're on live. All right. How many of you do that? Non-harming. My husband, whack, like, come on. All beings. All right, tabletop position. All right, noticing your spine. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to feel that central channel from the base of the spine, the sacrum, all the way out, extending through the neck, through the crown of the head. So notice if your head is dropping. Notice if you tend to lift your chin, your gaze is down, and you've got a straight line through that Sushumna Nadi. Good. Take another breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now, I want you to connect into the finger pads. Weight goes into your left knee. Hover your right knee. Try to do as little movement through the spine as you can. Hover your right knee. And then set it down. Now you will move a little, but you're just trying to minimize it. Push into both hands. Hover your left knee. Inhale. Exhale. What I love about this, it's the tiniest things have to pull together to get that leg to lift, right? Hover. Now you could do this on the forearms. If you've got wrist issues, you just come on the forearms. And lower. And left knee hovers. And lower. Let's do it one more time. Right knee hovers. And lower. And left knee hovers. And lower. Stretch your right leg back, ball of the foot down. Push through the heel. Keep the spine and the belly button drawing back. And then lift the leg. You're trying to keep the hips as level as you can. Sometimes the toes will turn out. So if you can, look back at your foot. So look down towards your belly. Can you see your right foot? Is it pointing down? Does the sacrum look level? Now bend the right knee like you have a little teacup on the top of your right foot. Flex the foot. And you're just going to pulse the leg up. Keep the belly button drawing back. Little pulses. You could also have, if your wrists get tired, you could make fists here. You're pulsing for 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Set the ball of the foot down. Cross your right leg behind your left leg so it's off the mat. And now turn and look over your left shoulder towards that right foot. So now your spine's going to arc here. Keep wrapping that outer left hip towards your right inner thigh. And then bring the right leg back. Inhale, parallel to the floor. Exhale, set it down. All right, second side. Left leg goes back. Take a deep breath. Push through the heel. You're stretching out the Achilles here, the calf. Do whatever feels good. And bring your weight forward. Lift the leg. Lift the leg. Bend the knee. Flex the foot. Now again, here the knee tends to turn out. Again, you may have to look back. Whoa, yep. Draw the belly button back in again then. And little pulses. Again, small, simple movement, so not easy. We're actually strengthening not just the hips and the hamstring, but also the arms, having to stay straight and hold us upright here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Stretch the leg back. Inhale. Set the ball of the foot down. Exhale. Cross your left foot back behind you off your mat. Over to the right. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Draw your left shoulder out of the ear. Wrap the outer right hip back. Let the left ribs bow. Good. And then bring it back to neutral. One breath. Lift it up parallel. Exhale. Set it down. Good. Now you're going to sit back on the heels. Tuck your toes. And if your pinky toes get stuck, you may have to reach back. If broken toe pose is not your jam, you can take a block. This will make it much easier on the flat level and sit up on the block. Okay? A lot of tension gets held in the feet, right? The way that we carry ourselves, it's what connects to the earth all the time. So if we think about supporting ourselves, giving our feet a little love, a little attention is incredibly vital. So we're going to do a couple things here for the feet. Listen to your body as always. If something I'm guiding you toward is definitely not feeling right, pick something else for a moment and jump back in when you can. All right, take one more breath. The block really does help a lot. It disperses the weight. All right, so take the block out. We're going to stretch the soles of the feet. So I'm going to turn around so you can see. You're going to take your right foot and you're going to turn the foot so that it's facing the short edge of your sticky mat. And then you're going to take the left foot, the top of the foot. There's a bone on the top of that foot. And you're going to put it on top of the arch. And then you're going to sit back on it. Okay? Now, what may happen, did you make faces like this? Or my husband might say, that is not your best face. Now, if you don't feel anything, move that top foot down a little more, almost so it's right where your foot flexes. That part of the foot would be more on the arch. The more you lean forward, you're going to take pressure off. If I'm upright, it's going to get intense, okay? Now, what I like to do is I'll turn again so you can see, is I just try and make little movements. So you can kind of see my toes almost kind of windshielding back and forth. And that little movement just almost brings me to tears because my arches and all of our organs are connected to the different points on the bottom of the feet. So it gets real tender in there. Remember I said I gave you permission. If it's not supporting you, come out. You know those massages that you just really want from when you go get a pedicure? It's kind of like that, but they're like in there a little too much, but it kind of hurts so good. All right, come back up. Remember the broken toe? It's going to feel like nothing. Tuck your toes. Now sit back. You can sit on that block again. Take one more breath. Think about your spine being really tall, that central channel. All right, now we're going to switch. Your left foot's your bottom foot. Remember, so my foot's not straight back. It's not like this. I'm turning the foot. I'm actually sickling it, which we like rarely to never do in yoga. Okay, we're sickling it, but we're not weight bearing on it. And then you're going to put the top of the right foot. And then the other key, and I didn't say this on the first side, is your knees are coming together. Very different if my knees are apart. Bring your knees together. Now, let's say you have a knee injury. You can't sit back like this. A lovely alternative that's equally intense is to grab a golf ball and then you just stand up and you roll the golf ball on the sole of your foot. Just standing up, have your hands on a counter or something for balance if you need it, and you just roll so gently along the arches of your feet that golf ball. So good for you. So good. Remember, you can move so you're more where the top of the foot bends and flexes. And if you feel nothing here, tell me your secrets, because you must be just, I'll come to you, okay? All right, inhale, come forward. Tuck the toes, last time. Stay with these movements. I know they can feel intense. It's like fast forward. You guys, you got to stay with this stuff. We need this. Our bodies need this. Take a deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Hands forward. You're going to step forward, Uttanasana. Let your feet be hip distance apart. And if you'd like to, you can grab your block. Grab your block. Hands can be on the block. Extend the sternum forward. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Relax your head and neck. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, refold and bow. Reverse your swan dive. Inhale, rise. Hands to your heart. Exhale. Now, remember this central channel. We're going to work a little bit with balance for a moment. We'll be going side to side. You could stand so that you're near a wall, okay? All right. I want you to think, notice if your central channel starts to round. Try to keep the central channel tall. Good. Take a breath, both arms by your sides, Tadasana. Reach your arms up. Inhale, palms face in. And now exhale, put your weight in your right foot, draw your left knee to your chest and take your arms out wide like a T. Turn the palms up so your shoulders are externally rotated and you feel the connection of your upper body hugging in. Good. Now slowly lower the left foot down, reach the arms up. And now weight in your left foot. Exhale, right knee into chest. Feel those core deep abdominal muscles. Inhale. This isn't about speed. We do not have a need for speed right now. Exhale. Inhale. If you want an extra challenge, make it spicy. Try to close your eyes. It'll slow you down even more. You will dance even more. Exhale. Now what's beautiful about this is you're trying to time the foot coming down and the arms being up about the same time, which really draws our mind completely into the present moment. It's very hard to think of literally anything else while you're doing this. One more time. Inhale. Remember, eyes can be closed if you like. Exhale. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, release both arms by your sides. Notice the tension that probably got in those shoulders just a little bit, okay? All right, feet are still hip distance apart. We're going to come into a chair pose. We're going to bend the knees. We're only going to take the arms out to shoulder height. Inhale. And then push to stand like you're kind of have a little bit of resistance. Reach the arms back. Get the spine nice and tall. Now, a lot of times in workout classes, they're like, squeeze the glutes. I want you to feel like the belly is lifting, but you're not overly clenching in the glutes. That's not going to be helpful. It's just going to harden your hip flexors, okay? So it's a toning. When you stand upright, you're going to feel the legs engage. Your core muscles, your deep pelvic floor muscles, your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, those are going to tighten a little bit, but you're not gripping. So inhale, drop back into chair. Exhale, come up to stand, Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that whole body working. Notice your central channel. Your back isn't rounding in your chair. Keep your spine straight. Exhale. Now, if you want to add a little balance here, I invite you. We've got 4 more. Inhale. Now, exhale. You'll rise up onto the tiptoes. And you may dance. Inhale. Exhale. I am on Spotify. If any of you are on Spotify, I have a lot of healing playlists. You could always put a playlist on while we do this. You can't have music on Facebook Lives. Inhale. Exhale. That's why you don't have any ever. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. But if you like it, it's an option. Heels drop. Arms reach up. Breathe in. Forward fold. Exhale all the way down. Inhale. Lengthen the spine. Now let's step back to a plank, and I invite you to always have your knees down, but I want you to feel the central channel of the spine. And we keep talking about that because if you think about supporting yourselves, we want to have a strong core, and it's not our muscles, right? A strong belief within ourselves. So take 2 more breaths, breathing in, breathing out. And I know this is challenging. Remember, put the knees down. It's okay. Breathing in, breathing out. Drop your knees. Inhale. Good. Sit back into child's pose. Exhale. If you can, I want you to keep the arms forward. Keep it in extended so the spine, it stays long. Let your breath start to calm the mind. If it started getting agitated at all, just use the breath. Good. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, right foot's going to step forward in between your hands, and we're going to walk the hands up that front thigh. Again, let's begin with the spine taller, not your deepest lunge where the back starts to curve a little bit more. So keep it upright here. Let's reach your left arm up towards the sky. Take a nice deep breath. Lift your low belly. So tone the pelvic floor and draw the belly button back towards your spine. Inhale. And now exhale. My right hand's on my thigh. Left arm is going to just side bend over. So we're going to arc the spine. Bring it back up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Now if we're dropping the tailbone down, you're still going to feel a nice stretch here on the left side through the psoas. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, reach the arm forward like you're shaking. We never shake left hand, do we? I feel weird. Why do we always go right? I don't know why that is. How did that start? Left hand, you're going to reach it all the way down to the ground. Tuck your back toes. Inhale, left knee is going to come up off the floor. Keep the right hand on the right thigh to start. And again, the spine, whenever you twist, we always want the spine extended first. If we're rounding into a twist, it's not good for our back. So it's better to just stay center and not twist. Work the length in the spine. So stretch your heart forward, squeeze your feet together, wrap your outer right hip back, and begin to turn your belly to the right. Using your right hand on your right leg to help be a little bit of a leverage. Keep the back leg strong. Pull the back hamstrings up towards the sky. Good. And then top hand down. Step to down dog. Just take that front foot back. And if your down dog is not there today, we take puppy pose. The knees come down. No weight on those shoulders if you're working with an injury, okay? In your down dog, push into the hands. Bend your knees if you need to. Again, so often in down dog, people have the straight legs, but we have the rounded spine. Reverse that. Bend the knees. Take the groins back. Push through the hands. Draw the belly button back a little bit and get a nice straight spine. Hug the hands in. Rotate the biceps more up towards the sky. Yes. And the triceps down. Drop to the knees. Breathe in. Left foot forward in between the hands. Walk your hands up your front thigh. Again, we're not into deep Anjaneyasana today. We're 290-degree angles basically. Back knee, back hip over knee, and front knee over ankle. Keep the left hand on the left thigh. Reach the right arm up. Spine nice and straight. Breathe in. Exhale, side bend over. So I'm going to kind of rest my left forearm right on the thigh. That's just fine. Inhale, bring it back up to neutral. Exhale, side bend. Inhale. Attune into the body. Exhale. Notice where you feel the stretch. Inhale up. Exhale, right hand. Reach it forward like you are shaking hands. Turn your thumb up, your shoulder externally rotates, and the arm is plugged into the socket. And then right hand down, we'll tuck the right toes. Lift the knee up, engage the back leg. Hamstring lifts, quad moves up towards hamstrings. Turn the belly. Turn the belly. Once the spine is straight, the spine is still working on becoming straight, stay with the torso facing the earth. Otherwise, torso, belly button starts to rotate left. Squeeze your inner thighs. Take that outer left hip back. Revolve the chest to the left. One more breath. And as you exhale, left hand down, step to down dog. Front foot back. Breath in. And we let that go. And again, we breathe in. Prana coming in. Exhale, apana going out. Last time, inhale. Exhale. The body will come forward, plank pose. Inhale. Put the knees down if you need to, all the way to the belly. All right, you're going to bring your forearms with your right forearm on the top, okay? Right forearm on the top, left forearm's on the bottom, and your forehead's going to rest on the back of your right hand or wrist. So I want you, if you can, if your low back is sensitive, you'll take your feet a little wider than your hips, hip distance. You can bring them in, or try to bring your inner edges of your feet all the way towards together. And you're going to lift your left leg, just your left leg. So what's nice here is that we have to wake up the legs and the glutes to lift the leg. And now we're going to take the opposite side. We're going to lift the chest and the head with the right arm connected to the forehead. Keep the left arm down on the ground. Inhale, lift. So you're lifting up on the right side. So opposite sides through the back are working. And then lower. Now we're going to keep on this same side. Leg up, right arm up. Forehead stays connected to the arm. Inhale. Exhale. But it's my back that's lifting. I'm not lifting my head up from my right forearm. Okay? My back. In fact, I can take it away. I can take that forearm away and I'm still lifting up. Exhale. Now you will use some effort in that left forearm, but you're trying to minimize it. So try to use your left arm less to lift your back. Oh yes, that makes it harder. And lower. 2 more. Inhale. And lower. 1 more time. Inhale. And lower. That is tough. Okay, switch your forearms. Switch your forearms. These are small movements. Just like making the changes to support ourselves, right? Those are small changes. They don't have to be big things, you guys. It's showing up to your mat for 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour. Let's take the right leg up first. Now as your right leg lifts, lift your left kneecap up. So the top of my left foot is still pushing down. My left quad is on the ground, but the knee is lifted because the leg is engaged. The right leg is lifted as high as it will go. And now keep your left arm connected to the forehead, lift up on the left side. And lower. Breath by breath here. Inhale. Lower. Remember, less weight in that right forearm as you come up. Really let it come from your back body. And lower. We have 3 more. Inhale. Lower. Last 2. And lower. This is really waking up that central channel. Inhale. And lower. So good. All right, take a deep breath. Breathe in. Let it go. Good. Take your arms out in front of you. Bring your forehead down towards the ground. Now, thumbs up towards the sky like you're shaking hands on each side. And lift your head and chest. Keep your pinkies down on the mat. I want you to hug your hands closer to you so your shoulder blades are connected onto the back. You can see that. So here they're reaching out. Here we're connecting. Don't give yourself a rug burn. Lift your leg, your kneecaps up. Engage your legs. Tops of your feet push down, quads push down. Good. Feel that connection in your upper back. Lift both your legs. Lift both your legs. Keep the connection in your upper back. We're using the support of the hands staying down. We're doing something symmetrical after the asymmetrical work. Spread your toes. Feel how your shoulder blades are connected onto your back. Can you slide your hands in a little closer? For 3, 2, slide the hands out. 1. Okay, take your arms into cactus. Keep your feet down. Keep your feet down this time. Thighs are down. Kneecaps are lifted. Keep the forearms down to start. Lift your head and chest. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. It's like a variation of Sphinx, but you're very wide in the arms. Take another breath, and then you have the option, lift your forearms up. Keep your gaze more down. Good, try to lift your legs now. Flying. Take 3 breaths, breathing in, letting it go. Connect the shoulder blades on your back. Hug your elbows toward each other a little bit more, towards your spine. Breathe in, let it go. One more time, breathe in and release. Let it go. All right. Child's pose. Now I want you to keep the spine long. Big toes touch, knees wide. Keep the spine long. Keep the spine long. Really extend the arms forward. Walk your hands in. Good. Grab your strap. Grab your strap. Whew. It's like I have a new back. All right. You're going to come up onto your shins. You can also do this standing. If it doesn't work for you to do kneeling, just come up to stand. Take your arms a little bit wider than your shoulders and reach your arms up towards the sky. Now remember, you can use a belt here. Draw your front ribs in. Yep, and now pull just gently apart on that strap, trying to keep the length in the spine. Good, breath in. Keep pulling, breath out. Good, now keep the strap in your right hand. Glide the left hand down. Keep reaching up through the right arm. My right arm is straight. Bend the elbow. Now, we're not going for a full Gomukhasana arm. I want you to grab the strap so it's at your low back, okay? The right arm can walk down a little closer, but you're going to see in a minute you don't want it to go too close. There's definitely a good amount of space. Right elbow is forward. My inner bicep is moving back. My tricep is moving forward on my right arm. And you're going to try to keep your spine as straight as you can. This is a shoulder movement. Head of the left shoulder back. You're going to see if by moving the left arm away from your body and straightening it, can you get the left arm straight, which is really stretching this right arm. Inhale. Now notice if your back arches to do that. Keep that central channel like it's in Tadasana. Exhale, bend it in. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, bend it in. You got one more. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, bend it in. Good. Now release your right hand. Take your right hand now behind you. Take your knees just a little bit wider. You're going to sit back to child's pose and reach your arms up and over holding that strap. And then lean a little to the right. Back to center. And lean a little to the left. Keep the weight in that right sitting bone as you take arms left. Back to center. Inhale, come up on your shins. Let go with your right hand. Stretch your left arm up towards the sky. Bend your left elbow like it's taking Gomukhasana arms. Reach back with your right hand. Find the strap. Remember, you want a good amount of space. And the lower you grab, you might grab more by the butt so that as you move the arm away, you can get the arm to go straight. The higher up my right hand is towards my left hand, the more intense of the shoulder stretch it becomes. Watch this left elbow from winging out. Keep the left elbow moving forward. Draw the belly button back. And as you inhale, see if you can pull with your right arm against the left. Make your right arm straight. And then exhale, bend it back in. Inhale, make the arm straight. Exhale, bend it back in. Keep your head gently resting back so your spine stays tall. Your head isn't jetting forward here. Right arm goes straight. Exhale. Good. Release your right hand. Swing the left arm back behind you. Hold again the strap. Child's pose. Reach the arms up and over. I've got my hands about shoulder distance. So even if you can hold your own hands, I want you to use the strap here if you've got one. And then lean left first. Lean left. Come to center. Lean right. And center. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release that strap. All right, we're going to come to Ardha Matsyendrasana. So we're going to bring the feet out in front of us. The left leg, if you've got a knee injury, you can keep that leg straight. Otherwise, I want you to bend that leg in. Now I'm going to give a very optional option. I don't know what does that mean? You can have a little mini roll, taking a blanket or a little towel, and you're going to wedge it. It's a very little roll between the bottom of the rib cage and the top of the hip point. So as you twist, you're just going to have a little extra compression in the abdomen, which will help bring more circulation, remove more toxins out of the system. So totally optional. If you don't have one, don't worry. Sole of your right foot is on the floor. Hold both hands onto the front of the right shin. Lift up nice and tall. And then you're going to begin to start to twist. So because that blanket's there, you may not go as far. So I'm going to start by hooking the left elbow around, and I'm just going to hold my left wrist with my right hand. When you inhale, notice the blanket against the abdomen. As you exhale, see if you can continue to bring your right knee towards your left armpit without the right sitting bone coming up. If you feel like the blanket isn't adding any supportive elements to your practice, just take it out. I actually like it. It really reminds me to breathe. Now, those of you that can go deeper, if you can go all the way where you get the left arm outside the leg. Now again, notice if your spine rounds to do that. Keep that central channel of the spine nice and tall. Good. And then slowly unwind. Slowly unwind. Let your right knee just kind of fall away and let that blanket come away from the belly. Bring your hands by your sides and just breathe nice and easy. Now we're going to go and do both sides right away, side to side. So switch it around. We're not going to add anything on this little sequence, just so we can do both sides. Get the left sitting bone down. You might need an extra support if you can't get that left sitting bone down. Sole of your left foot to the floor. You have the option to straighten your right leg. Okay, left hand behind you. Right arm, you can start by reaching it up. Get the length in the spine, and then exhale. Hook the elbow around. Feel your breath against the blanket. Think of how supportive our breath is for us. how it can be there in a moment when we feel ourselves getting incredibly anxious, to bring us back to the present moment. Most of our anxiety is often worrying about something that has yet to come or could possibly happen. It's not here. So we teach ourselves the supportive habit of the breath, of utilizing the breath as a tool to begin to calm the body, calm the mind and the nervous system. We create the supportive habit to learn how to slow our breathing down. Remember, if you can start to work the arm to the outside, I invite you to do that. Notice if you're in a rush. Does rushing support ourselves, right? So catching ourselves, slowing ourselves down. Your back may be noticeable tomorrow, okay? You may feel some things. Slowly unwind. Slow, slow, slow. Let your top leg just come off that bottom leg a little bit, and just sitting up nice and tall, let your abdomen feel like it has full capacity to breathe. And then stretch the legs back out into the danda, into the staff pose. Now, a couple options with this blanket. One is to sit on it. If your back isn't straight, we can't quite get the straight spine yet, our hamstrings are tight. You can also sit up against a wall. That's really helpful. But sitting on the blanket will help. If you've got a straighter spine and you want to use the blanket, you like the roll, you tend to have, where you know you hold stress and anxiety is in the abdomen, this is a really nice just alternative. So you can start to lay, you don't need a big roll here, just start to lay over. You might grab your block, you could even grab your strap, put it around the soles of the feet, and then take your time. This won't probably be overly intense in the belly, but it'll be just enough that you notice you're breathing a little bit deeper. Again, if it's not useful, if it's not supportive, take it out. Some days if I use the blanket, I actually like to bend the knees in my forward fold because it adds extra compression. So I purposely don't go with straight legs. So some of you might like that. You might feel it very, very differently than if you went with the straight leg. And then inhale, bring it all the way up. Make sure your block is near you. Move yourself into the middle of your mat. Switch around here. Come onto your back. And we're going to take a supported bridge pose, pushing down into both your feet, elevate your hips, and take your block if you have one and slide it under. If you don't have a block, you can just do regular bridge pose. Maybe close the eyes. Now in your bridge, bring your left foot so it feels like it's a little bit more on the midline, on the center line. And I want you to hook your right ankle above your left knee. Now you can do this without a block at all, yogis, okay? Pick your left foot up off the floor and draw your left thigh towards you in a figure 4, but on the block. We won't be here too long, so don't worry if it feels challenging to hold the shape. And then slowly let the left foot, notice how your core muscles have to really connect in. Go slow to get the left foot back to the floor. And then set the right foot to the earth and take a deep breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left ankle hooks above right. Take a moment to pause. You can always stay here, just with the foot on the floor. And if you like, right foot will lift, drawing the thigh toward you. Support your body as you continue to stay present and you breathe. And then now you're going to keep the legs up in the air. Inhale. Knees are bent and they're towards your chest a bit. And you can keep them bent like this or straighten them a little or a lot in a supported shoulder stand. You can, of course, do this against a wall too. You could just do legs up the wall here. Can you flex your feet so your toes point back towards your face? And then point your feet, stretching the top of the feet, the shins. Flex your feet. Point your feet. Bend your knees. Set one foot to the earth, nice and slow, nice and slow. Set your other foot to the earth. Set your heels down if they're lifted. Inhale. Full breath, empty it out, exhale. You may notice a little bit of tingling happening in the legs. Push into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. Let your sacrum come back down to the ground. And draw your right knee in towards your chest. Extend your left leg long. Draw your right knee towards your right shoulder. Or if you're more open here, maybe off to the right, even towards the armpit. Draw your left leg, the straight one, towards your chest. Release your clasp on your right shin. Gomukhasana with the right knee on top. Hold opposite feet or calves or heels. Lengthen the back of your neck. As we move throughout our day, when we leave our mat today, this question of constantly checking in with ourselves and asking ourselves if we're supporting. Is this supporting myself? Is this thinking supporting me? And this simple question can get quite intense as we look at, stories that we hold about ourselves. Experiences that happen to us. And we start to ask a really deep question of, is the story that we're holding about something supporting ourselves? Or have we constantly been disempowering ourselves? And I know that that is a really hard moment to confront ourselves with. But the awareness is where the transformation begins, you guys. We are all in that space. in some way, shape, or form. Let go of your feet. Uncross your legs and let the left knee stay in as you extend the right leg back out. Heel down. Hands clasped around your left shin. And I think it's way harder to hold those disempowering stories inside of ourselves. It shows up somehow. It shows up in pain that we have. It shows up in discomfort. It shows up in all kinds of ways. Gomukhasana, drawing right knee to chest, left leg will cross over. We will all experience suffering, right? As Viktor Frankl says in Man's Search for Meaning, to live is to suffer, and to survive is to find meaning in the suffering. To live is to suffer, and to survive is to find meaning in the suffering. And so as we all swallow whatever suffering is for us in the day, in the moment, in the season, where it shifts is whether we use that suffering to strengthen us and to create a powerful story that supports ourselves, or it weakens us. We fall into those two spaces. And my wish for these practices is that they help us, they help all of us begin to listen more deeply. Be able to recognize the habit of how to support ourselves. And let go of the feet. Excuse me, let the soles of your feet come together and your knees go wide. And you can place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. You can take your arms into a cactus shape. You are enough, my friends. You are enough. You are whole. You are complete. And let's let the arms release. If you want to stay here for your Shavasana, you can. Let your legs extend out. Make yourself comfortable. Feel your outer body begin to soften towards your inner body. And feel the support of the earth underneath you. And as sure as that support of the earth is there holding you in this moment, is the support of a greater energy that is always with you. It is guiding you. And at times, it is challenging us. To teach us the strength that is within ourselves. And in the moment, it doesn't feel like strength most of the time. That's the paradox. In the moment, it actually often feels like we are so weak. one small decision, one small step at a time. We keep showing up. We ask ourselves, what could I do? What small thing could I do right now that would support myself? Stay in Shavasana. You'll hear me ring a soft bell when it's time to come out. Begin to notice a space within yourself that is where your breath is beginning. And start to move your fingers and your toes. Allow your arms to take a big stretch as you reach them over your head. We'll place our feet back to the earth. We'll roll to the right side. If you're practicing in the evening, go ahead and roll left. You are supported. As you press into the earth and you rise and come back up to an easy seat, palms into your heart space. Friends, I know that often when we're in a season of a very great challenge, very difficult to know the lesson in that moment of what we should be gaining. But what is possible in that moment is to know that it's for something, to have that trust, to support ourselves with our thinking going, what is it that I can be learning in this experience? It's happening for me. What can I gain? How can I use this to maybe help someone else in the world? So as you draw thumbs to third eye, I thank you so much from the deepest part of my heart for coming together, for stepping onto your mat and doing these practices. We are together. Beyond space and time, beyond not physically being together, we are together. We are always together. And I thank you for practicing. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Corona cannot keep us apart. We are still together, and I'm here for you. All you have to do is reach out, and I love it. Leave me a comment below. Share something that you enjoyed in the practice, or share the practice so that your people could maybe be able to do this too. So as always, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And if your back is like, oh, love that. Like, don't you love that your body knows that you did something to help support it? So keep thinking of ways to support yourself, and I wait for next time. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you, friends.